keeping the conversations going, it's my pleasure to bring to the stage Lisa Lounsbury. Lisa is president and CEO of Big I New York. And Lisa has worked with independent insurance agents on property and casualty lines her entire professional career. Lisa began her career with Great American and now leads a team focused on supporting the success of independent agents in New York and Connecticut. She is also the co-founder of Catalyt, a technology resource company that helps agents maximize and implement technology solutions to better service customers and improve agency profitability. Please help me give a nice warm welcome to Lisa Lounsbury.
So good afternoon, and I'm going to start with a confession. Independent insurance agency blood literally runs through my veins. My dad was an independent agent in Erie, Pennsylvania, where I grew up. And it was your typical family business. My mom worked there, my aunt. Sundays I went in and cleaned. By the time I was a junior in college, I had my property and casualty insurance license. So I was pretty much doomed, or I guess destined, to be in the insurance industry. I met my husband working for a carrier out of college. He now runs a large independent insurance agency in upstate New York. So there is literally no bigger cheerleader for independent agents than me on this planet. And in my personal and in my professional opinion, the value of the independent agent in the insurance ecosystem is grossly underestimated and undervalued. They are literally the face of the insurance carriers and insurance in the transaction. So if you are a carrier or a technology company that is building tools for carriers, I ask you to pay attention for a couple of minutes because you may want to reconsider your strategy for how you're developing tools for your customer that empower agents. And if you can solve real problems, not ones you make up, but real problems for agents, you will be able to harness the influence and the connections that they have. That's my mom and dad, my daughter. So who are these agents? They're literally the fabric of the communities that they live in. They volunteer at their local fire departments, they coach Little League, they support local charities, they sit on their local governments. They essentially own that hometown relationship. Most independent agents represent 7 to 8 carriers, and they work with a number of wholesalers. They are, again, that face of the carrier with their customer. They provide the advice, the education, and they craft the right coverage solutions to help their customers protect what matters most to them. And because of that, they are trusted and they harness credibility. There is no amount of money or length of time that any digital carrier or digital MGA could ever have access to create the same influence and connections that independent agents have. And you may be very surprised to learn that with M&A activity at all-time highs year after year, the number of independent agents in the United States is actually growing. There are 40,000 agents in the United States, which is the highest it's been since 2002. The top 2% generate more than $10 million in revenue every year. And I suspect that if you are considering agents, that's probably the segment that you're zoned in on. But I really would urge you to think beyond that, because if you can solve problems for agents that are smaller than that $10 million agency, you now have 39,000 plus other customers that you can potentially work with. And they control the property and casualty marketplace. Independent agents write 2/3 of the property and casualty marketplace in the United States. Compare that to the 16% that direct carriers control. There was a study that was done, it was a paper in 2013 that McKinsey did. So 2013, 10 years ago, that predicted it was the end of the era for the local insurance agent. That hasn't happened. If that had happened, there would be less independent insurance agents, the directs would have more market share, and we would see successful and profitable digital insurance carriers. But none of that has happened. Why? Insurance is a relationship business. It's a complicated product, and consumers like to talk to somebody. Agents have trust and credibility, and people trust people. There was a J.D. Power study done several years ago that talked about how it studied how consumers purchase and buy insurance online. They found that 75% of consumers shop for insurance online, but only 25% actually purchased online. So what happened to that other 50%? They called an agent. And for the second year in a row, J.D. Power has studied customer satisfaction with online digital claims reporting and claims processes, and customer satisfaction continues to decline. The number one reason is the claimants were not connected to a person early enough in that claims process. It was all too digital. People trust people. So as you're thinking about what your strategy should be, keep in mind that agents educate and they advise their clients, your collective customers. And if you start to tap into that rather than try to fight with it, I think you'll have a lot of success. So let me give you an example of something that I witnessed that I don't think was a great example. I was at a carrier meeting several years ago, and this will tell you how long ago it was. The insurance carrier was getting ready to roll out a mobile app that the policyholders would be able to pay their premiums, they'd be able to request policy changes, review their policy. It was great, and I think the carrier was incredibly well-intended by this. So they got done with their presentation. They were very proud of what they were rolling out, and I asked the question they probably dreaded. I said, so whose brand is this going to be rolled out under, yours or the agent's? And they said, well, of course, ours. I said, okay. So what access will the agent have to that app? How are you going to push that same information that you're sharing with the policyholder into that agency's agency management system? And they looked at me like I had three heads. I was like, come on, man. Like, you want to improve customer satisfaction. How frustrated is that customer, that policyholder going to be when the information is wrong, or they go to follow up with their agent on a change request that they had, and the agent has no clue what happened? If carriers and tech companies can really start to double down on investing in the carrier agent policyholder experience, that's where you're going to see some incredible success. If you can give agents the tools they need to educate and advise their clients, they're going to be incredible ambassadors for your insurance companies or the clients if you're a technology company. Develop real tools to the problems that they have. Talk to them, get to know them. And if you do that, you have incredible opportunities to harness the market share and the connections that they have. So if you would like more information about independent insurance agent, I'm your person. My contact information is here. There are a lot of studies done that could be helpful to you as you're building out your plans. And there's also a QR code for Catalyt, which is a company I helped to co-found that helps agents navigate technology solutions. And if you have an insurtech company that is developing solutions for agents, I urge you to engage with us at Catalyt. Thank you.